those monopolies. And yeah, so this is the analytics workflow. This is the entire process from something happening in your game to you knowing what happened, all the way on the other end. Yeah, and I guess just start with stuff that's happening in the game. This one's easy. I mean, comparably. Here are the stuff you need to track. I think we're having a motorcycle race outside. I have no other way to explain that noise. You have the timestamp when the event happened. Now, I would say that this is less important in terms of like knowing at what point in human history this event happened, and more in terms of just organizing the event order. Like I have a few games that run entirely off of the in-game like player duration, like basically how long since the player entered the game. That's my timestamp for most of those, with the exception being when they first enter. I include the timestamp for that because certain days of the week or times of the year might have different performance. So you do want to track it somewhere, but not every event needs it. Because functionally, what timestamp means most of the time is what point in the player's play experience did this happen? What point in their journey? Server ID, this can be useful for when you really get, like, this is more like a pro level thing. But if you really get to the point of optimizing the individual experience, you'll want to start optimizing the server level experience, like figuring out what types of players play well together, what types of interactions happen between them that makes that require player states. We're not going to go too much into that, but I track server ID. And as a bonus, if a player exits and then returns a few seconds later in the same server, you can assume they just disconnected. And just continue their session from there. It's a little bit hacky, but I mean, just have that be a custom event, and I think you should still be able to maintain integrity. So the event state, we just did a lot of talking about the event state. It's all that information. I just send a table through the events, honestly. A JSON wrapped table. User ID, send that. Play session ID. That's the thing you generate that helps track this kind of stuff. Remember, HTTP service get GUID. I believe that's the exact way to get a unique player session identifier. And then player state, same thing as the event state. This is actually a little bit dated because now I've started blending. Like the event state is sort of the stuff unique to the event, and the player state is the stuff unique to the player. I've moved a little bit away from describing them as event and player states, and more just state and like event, like decision configuration. I don't know. Labeling it isn't the important part here. Point is, you get all that important data in an event, a single table, which you then wrap in a JSON, that another HTTP call you can make, which converts a table into text, essentially. And then you can send that text through the HTTP service. And the HTTP service allows you to connect with the wider internet, including various storage solutions, which brings us to where to put that in-game data. Why did I just change the color and not the name? Dang it. Okay. But yeah, so you have the actual storage things. I'm just going to give you 5. There are more options, and there might even be better options. These are the ones that I have interacted with in some way or another, in the sense that I've attempted them. Some of them, I've gotten it to work for 2 of these. But yeah, so Google Analytics is good. It has, it's free, kind of. After a certain point where you're like using up too much of their system, they'll start saying either you pay us like $150,000 or we cut off your service. And like realistically, just like, and it's per month, so like just track how much data you're using. If you're troubleshooting a new game from scratch, you'll be fine, most likely. But if your game's already successful and you just want to improve an existing game, Google Analytics might not be for you. Though you can always do like some basic filtering where like you only include every other play session to keep under that, but that's a bit unnecessary in my opinion. Especially since you want as much data as you can. Like heck, Google allows you to use this service for free to gather data on you. So yeah. Um, yeah, so fairly limited capacity. UI the UI for that site's kind of weird. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just kind of a confusing mess. But you really don't have to be on it for too long. You just have to like get a key from it once, and then you can just once you've set it up, you don't ever have to open it again. Um, Firebase. This is another storage solution. I haven't used it. There's a guide for it. It and AWS. So you'd have to check that out. It does cost you per usage though, but it's like cents per megabyte, so not much. Like it's going to be like a few dollars a month for you, most likely, in most situations. AWS, which is Amazon's company, Amazon Web Services, where basically because Amazon owns enough servers to handle high capacity days, they have a lot of leftover server space that they don't use all the time. And because of that, they rent those servers out through the AWS system. And because of that, it has this interesting quirk. It's pretty similar to Firebase. There aren't any tutorials for it on Roblox, as far as I can tell, but it is the industry standard. But it fails on Prime Day because that's when they need those servers again, and you'll lose connections, and that's won't matter most of the time. But I mean, it's a weird enough thing to point out, I guess. Custom server, that means just like set up a server, like host a server on your actual computer, or buy a designated computer for it. It's free, and I mean you have to set it up, and some database tools cost money, but like you can set it up for free. You can store money, not store money. Well, kind of. You can store data on your server for free without paying anyone else a dime, and the only limits are how much memory your computer has. And I tell you, like most computers these days reach like a terabyte in storage. That's more than enough data for 99% of what you're going to do. It's also faster. I mean, duh. Like you don't have to talk to the internet. It's just there already. Power BI can reference it directly if it's on your computer. Cons, it's easily the most difficult thing to do. You have to know PHP to some extent, as far as I can tell. And when your computer is down / Wi-Fi is down, you don't get to record events. Yeah, so I mean that's that. It doesn't use too much data unless your game's massive, like Adopt Me scale, because you're setting pretty small events. But if it's down, and you'll lose that data. And imagine you do a playtest, and then your power goes out. Heroku. I almost added that as Heroku I'd put under Firebase in terms of comparability. Definitely. There are, just look up like storage in the dev forum and you'll find these. And if the power goes out or your internet service provider goes down because they're monopolies that don't care about you, then the custom server will be a bad move. And I'm not even sure if I should recommend it, but there's something tempting about never having to pay anyone for server storage. And then PlayFab. PlayFab is provided for free. There's a free trial, kind of like Google Analytics. Honestly, PlayFab is Google Analytics with more built-in. It also has a slightly better UI, but to get the most out of it, you need to know KQL. Anyone who's ever used SQL is fine. KQL is just SQL, except it's read-only. But if you don't know KQL, it's going to take you a day. Like maybe you can probably maybe in an hour or two you can get it to run to the point where or just copying someone else's query in a few minutes, you can get to just export all the data. But that's still a learning curve. I'd say for people who don't want to learn KQL and are not comfortable with coding too much, Google Analytics, that's what you go with. Everyone else, PlayFab. Everyone who's good at PHP or wants to go through a more technical tutorial, other outside servers. And so that's gathering the data. Finally, Power BI, the part you